Well, folks, I have got a great conversation for us today, and it's with Callie, the Cupcakes Queen. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great, and we are here on the edge of your second anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about where we are right now, and then we'll get into the whole journey.
Okay. Well, we're here at my bakery. Like you said, going on 2 years, and yeah.
And it's an amazing thing to think about because so many folks have used your cupcakes and cakes, and you can see you online, cuppiecakesqueen.com. I'll put the link in the show notes here. I was just recently at some event. It was with the hospital, and you had donated some of your cupcakes for the auction there.
Yeah.
How did you get your start in this whole endeavor?
Oh goodness, that's a long story.
Well, we got plenty of time.
Kind of started from home, baking for friends and family. You know, classic story: baking for friends and family, and then eventually the farmers market, and then opening up our storefront.
How do you come up with some of the inspiration here? The photos are magnificent on the website, and the cupcakes that I've had are delicious.
Oh,
So what's kind of, do you have any culinary background, or was it just in the kitchen at home saying, well, let's try this?
Yeah, I actually, don't tell anybody, but I grew up in Los Angeles, and I went to culinary school there at Los Angeles Trade Tech. So 2 years of culinary school and for professional baking.
And what is it about creating desserts that you like, that you've really become accustomed to, and especially when you see people and how happy they are?
I think a lot of it is, I tried working for other people for a while, and I guess I have this creativity that I just needed to get out there. I would see interesting flavors or see interesting things, and I'm like, oh, let me see if I can turn this into that or this. And, I eventually just turned that into a passion, A lot of it is just trial and error and just seeing what I like to do.
What are some of the flavors that you've created over the many years that you weren't sure if it would turn out, and then you're like, this is really, there's something here?
Oh, goodness. I would say, gosh, there's so many. I think a lot of the time it comes from other people saying, I'd like to try this. And then I'm like, I don't know if this will work out.
Like what? What's an example of that?
So we have one that's called Tropical Escape, and it's a banana and pineapple cake with a coconut cake with a banana and pineapple filling. And I first was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it actually is really, really delicious. And then another one I would say is our coconut lemon curd is one that I wasn't too sure about, but it's actually one of our most popular flavors.
How would you describe the taste of one of your cakes or cupcakes? Light, fluffy? How do you describe desserts like that?
Oh goodness, I would say our cakes are definitely fluffy. I wouldn't call them light though, because we put a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of butter, some sour cream. So I would say it's, from scratch cake is definitely a different experience. And our buttercream, I would say it's nice and light. We've had people that say they don't even like buttercream that really liked our buttercream. So
you mentioned on your website that you're not like other store-bought desserts. What's the main difference?
Love. Butter. I don't know, just real ingredients. There's no preservatives. We make everything from scratch here. The fillings, the frostings, everything. So I think that's where we differ.
How long does it take to do one of these cakes? So I'm looking behind you here, and I see it's kind of an underwater cake, and there's a middle part that you could say kind of is like a geode type of a thing there. How long does something like that take?
Well, that is the thing in the middle is it's called a fault line cake. That one, oh goodness, it's hard to tell, from beginning to end, from the baking at all, depending on the filling, and then the actual decoration. I would say that it probably takes if I'm really in a good space, it probably takes at least 8 hours when you consider the fondant that goes into it. And I'm probably doing it on the shorter end. But the fondant that goes into it, the decorations, the coloring of the buttercream, all that takes a really long time, which I think sometimes people don't understand the steps that you have to take in order to make, a custom cake.
I'm sure you would say this. Others may just now be realizing it, but this is it's art, right?
Yeah.
And so it does take time.
Yes. And I think that most people do see it and they're like, wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. Yeah. But the time that it actually takes to make each one it's a dedication. It's definitely a labor of love.
Do you enjoy making your own creations or collaborating with people when they come in or do they, how much, I guess a second part of that is how much kind of free reign do they give you?
Well, it depends. Some people say, I trust you, just do whatever you want, which for me, I don't really like because everybody has a different taste and everybody has a different style. So I prefer to collaborate with customers, ask them, what is it that you're looking for? And then I can take my own artistic, point into it because every artist is different. And my work is not going to be exactly the same as somebody else's. So I try to mold the two, or, blend the two things together.
Cakes and cupcakes are different than a lot of what you have sold here locally in the past. You mentioned the farmers market. So what did people know you for there?
Definitely scones were a big thing, which started from a customer saying, hey, you should make scones. And I'm like, okay. And so I would say I probably got started with cookies, and I was doing cake slices at one point until the weather told me different. But yeah, scones, cookies, coffee cakes, things like that were good at the farmers market.
Where all are you who all are you creating for? Where all are you sending out to?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Well, like you mentioned, I do a lot of donations to local organizations here. That's part of my, I guess, unofficial mission statement. I want to give back to the community. So, I've donated to the high school. I've donated to the elementaries and, like you said, the hospital. But I would say my paid customer base, it can range from the mom with her kid's first birthday party all the way up to, PUD3. I've done a few cupcakes for them as well. Just, people here in Shelton, just who have heard of us. And I would say all the way even up to Olympia and Lacey, we've had people come over this way as well.
How do you, so if a 1-year-old's birthday, you still want to make it a beautiful experience. But I remember my son when he was 1, and it was more of he looks at it and then smashes it. How do you go, oh, man, I spent 8 hours on the fondant on the buttercream. And, but again, it's for the customer.
Yeah. I've learned to just enjoy the experience and not, pictures are forever, right? So the experience is forever. The memory is forever. I don't look at cakes like, oh, this is too pretty to eat anymore. I used to at one point, but I just look at it as, oh, this memory is going to be kept forever for a lifetime. This kid is going to look at these pictures one day and they're going to be like, oh, wow, my mom did all this for me. And so I just think of it like that every time I make a cake.
Do you make desserts for yourself at home?
No. No, I don't.
No.
Once, a hobby becomes a business, I feel like you don't really do so many things at home anymore.
Yeah.
I like ice cream at home. I love eating ice cream, but no, I don't really make a lot of desserts at home unless it's the holidays. For Christmas, we always do cookies at home. For Thanksgiving, I always do pies at home. But other than that, no.
How'd you get here?
How'd I get where?
Here, LA. I mean, that's a long ways.
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, that was my husband's idea. We moved here in 2018, to Washington in 2018, and he had traveled here and everywhere on his own before we got together. And, California, Los Angeles, it's a pretty tough place to live. So we just got up and left. So
you get here, then it's not many years later that you start creating.
Yeah, well, I started my baking in California, and I had got a few clientele there. And then when we moved, I stopped doing it for a while, and I just eventually, it was always called back to me that this is what I needed to do. So I got right back in there.
People in the community last year nominated you as Rookie of the Year. What does that mean to kind of get that recognition from folks?
It means a lot. It really kind of solidified that I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be doing this. The community has been so welcoming from the first farmers market. Actually, the first, I guess, when I was doing my waffles for the Timber Days. From that first event all the way till now, like, the community has been behind me. They've seen me in the ups and my downs, because it's not easy
Right.
starting your own business, especially in a smaller town. The community has always been there for me, so that was really like such a blessing to be nominated, to even be thought of at all.
Is it just you here? Do you have like a sous chef, or what's the
We don't have
dessert?
official terms, but it was me for a long time, and then I had some really good friends that volunteered, and they helped me get through the first year of business. And going into the second year, I actually have official employees. I have my head baker who helps me with all the cupcakes and buttercreams and things, while I can focus more on custom cakes. And then I have my cashier, so that we can focus on the back, and then we also have somebody to help us close at the end, which is really nice.
We are again here off Olympic Highway North, across from Department of Licensing, next to the Shang. This is your storefront. What are your hours these days?
Right now it's Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be opening up on the weekends, but for now, that's 11 to 5, Tuesday through Friday.
How much lead time do people need to order something from you?
Great question. I try to ask for a week in advance for any of our, we call them signature cakes, so just basic cakes and cupcakes that we have. Just because we do make everything from scratch, we have to buy the supplies, get the things to make fillings and everything like that. So I ask for a week, and then for the custom cakes, at least 2 weeks, so we can get what we need for that.
How do you get the ombre colors on like that? Again, the fault line cake, I'm looking at it, goes a really beautiful green to blue. How do you do that?
You just color the buttercream the colors you want, and you just kind of spackle it on there, and different like layers of buttercream, and then you take your tools, because you got to have tools if you want to make it look nice. I take my bench scraper and my cake scraper, and it smooths out into this really nice like division of colors. That's the best way I can describe it.
I mean, it's like watercolor kind of a little bit.
Yeah. If you do it well, which that's one of my nicer ones. So yeah, if you do it well, it does look really, really like almost painted on. Sometimes people think that it's fondant, and I'm like, no, it's buttercream.
Do you do gender reveal cakes?
Yes, gender reveal cakes, lots of smash cakes.
What's that? What's a smash cake?
Well, kind of like what we were describing earlier. The 1-year-old, it's a cake just for him or her, and they just go at it. I try not to think about all the cake that gets wasted with that. But,
sure.
Yeah, so, back in the day, we used to all have smash cakes where our parents or somebody would smash our face inside of the cake, which I always cried about that. But now the kid actually gets to be the one smashing it. That's like, breaking the generational curses, I guess.
What is a thing that someone who, I don't know, they make cookies at home, and they're like, oh yeah, a cookie is a cookie is a cookie is a cookie. What do you say to that?
They haven't tried our cookies. I mean, I think cookies at home are wonderful. I mean, everybody has that memory of, I hope everybody has that memory of their parents making cookies, or them making cookies with their family. And you can't beat a freshly made cookie. But ours, we have techniques, we have skills, trials and error that has got us to this point where we have people that come once a week, or maybe two times a week, 3 times a week for instance, our pecan oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. It's like our most popular. Our oatmeal cream pie is our second most popular cookie. So, I don't know, there's something special to it, I guess.
Is there something that's more, you just mentioned those two, but knowing the community, being in the community for the last 5 years, is there something that the majority of the folks are like, this is like a Shelton taste, a Shelton flavor.
Yeah, I definitely think our oatmeal cream pies are probably like what we're most known for around here. I wish I can say our cupcakes, although people say they're some of the best cupcakes they've ever had, but I would say people are really drawn to our cookies. They really love, like, again, the pecan oatmeal chocolate chunk is, if we don't have it, people are so upset with us. So it's definitely, I would say that's, we're known for that. And I will say a lot of people will say, hey, she's the lady to go to for cakes, or she's the lady to go to for cupcakes. So
is it a tough space to be in? I mean, is there a lot of competition?
I always say I am my own competition, and nobody can do what I do because I am me. But I will say it's definitely a tough location, which I feel like only makes me feel more proud of the fact that, we have people coming specifically to get our baked goods, because you have to be on top of mind in order for people to come.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not really in downtown. It's not a high traffic area. So that makes me feel like what I'm doing is something people actually want, because they come and find us. They have to come and find us to get our goodies.
I think at the hospital it was a dozen or two. You mentioned PUD3 as well. What are some large groups that you're like, I can accommodate this many cupcakes for an event? Oh
goodness, that's a good question. Most recently I would say we had a wedding, and I think it was like 160 cupcakes. But at one point I was doing 500 cupcakes for the Home Depot over in Lacey, for their, not like the actual storefront, but they have like, I don't know, they had like a workers appreciation thing. So I had to do 500 cupcakes. That's when I didn't have any help. So I'm pretty sure we could have the capacities to definitely expand if anybody, Sierra Pacific, anybody wants to
right
reach out.
And then these large companies in town want something for you, and you said a week or so lead time, probably maybe a little, but maybe it can't be too much though, right? Because then they start to, what's the shelf life on these things?
Well, so we wouldn't bake them 2 weeks in advance. We just need to have
the ingredients,
and some, like, a lot of these things require certain molds and things like that, or certain tools that I might have to purchase. That's why we asked for 2 weeks. But the cupcakes would be, for something that large, we'd probably bake them the night before. But the cupcakes that we have on our case, we bake the morning of.
Do you have any job openings for taste testers?
I'm always looking for taste testers. We're always looking for feedback. So if you want to come and test some things out, I would love that.
Cupcakes seem to have gotten really popular over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, I guess. I can see it in some cases, especially after COVID, and everybody kind of didn't want to share utensils or whatever, cutting the same cake. But what is it about a cupcake that people seem to, the trend seems to be more cupcakes, especially on like weddings and things like that?
I just did a wedding. The cupcakes I was telling you about was for a wedding. They had a small cake for cutting, just the bride and groom. I just think it's just your own personal thing, kind of just like what you said. I think, it's just yours. You don't have to, no fuss, no fight, no utensils, nothing like that. I think a lot of people like that convenience. And then, heck, if all you have is, $3 or $4 and you want to get somebody something nice or a cake for their birthday, you just slap a candle on it and there you go, happy birthday, So I think that's also nice sometimes, maybe when you're on a budget and you don't want or need a whole cake to show somebody that they're special, What
are some of the other options that people can come in and buy from you? So single cookies, you were saying, single cupcakes available in the display?
Yeah, so when we're open Tuesday through Friday, we do offer, of course, our cupcakes. We always have at least 5 flavors, but sometimes we go as high as 8. But we always have cupcakes. We always have cookies. We have brownies. Our brownies are another thing that people will come here specifically for. We do a caramel turtle brownie that people really like.
Wow.
We do cheesecakes. We do lemon bars. We also have cinnamon rolls on Thursdays, and we have scones on Fridays, and we have people that specifically come for cinnamon rolls or specifically come for scones.
Wow. So the beauty, the decadence, I guess, of the cupcakes and the cakes are what people see maybe on social media, stuff like that. But it's everything.
Yes.
For desserts.
Yes.
And treats here.
Yes, we do like to have a wide range of things. Sometimes I'll play around with something. I'll just see something online, and I'm like, oh, I want to make that. So sometimes we'll have, something, a viral thing like the Dubai brownies.
Yeah, what's up with this Dubai stuff?
I don't know. People are so obsessed with it. I don't know.
I haven't heard of the Dubai brownie. I remember seeing a lot of people talking about the chocolate. Mm-hmm. What's so good about it? We need to get some Shelton brownies or Shelton chocolates that goes viral. How do we do that?
I think it's the exoticness of it being originating in Dubai, and I think it's different. It's pistachio butter with tahini, which is, sesame seed paste. And then it's milk chocolate. And then it has phyllo dough. So the phyllo dough is like crunchy. So when you bite into it, it has like a nice crunch to it. It's definitely an experience.
Kind of like a baklava a little, or?
No, it's the same type of dough. The phyllo dough is the same, but it's a whole different experience from that. Yeah, it's
well, there's your next niche market here, Shelton version.
Unfortunately, I've already made them a few times, and people are like, "When are you going to bring them back? When are you going to bring them back?" So it's like, I'll have them on the anniversary. I'll have them back on Friday.
What would be some flavors or some? I don't even know how you would do it, but like in my mind, I'm thinking something tree. Like pine, or could you make anything like that so it would be like the forest?
Well, I don't know that you would want to eat things that taste like pine, because I think that's like an air freshener.
No, okay, no, that's fair. We're just spitballing here.
But I mean, we could definitely make something look like a pine tree, or maybe I don't know. I think peppermint is it reminds me the most of tree-related things that would actually taste good. But we've done lavender.
Lavender
We've
works.
done lavender. We've done. I mean, rosemary is another thing that people like. I haven't dared try it yet because that kind of scares me. But I used to make sugared rosemary for decoration.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you'd eat that.
That's what I meant. Rosemary the whole time. Don't worry, not pine. I totally meant rosemary.
I mean, you could definitely make some interesting flavors. We made some during Mother's Day. We made a lot of different. I can't even think of them off the top of my head now. I think rosewater was one. We did one with basil. I can't remember all the ones that we did, but we did a lot of different foresty flavors. Maybe not pine, but
right. Definitely. So we're coming up on Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and holiday seasons. There's a traditional, lots of desserts are made over this. But nowadays, I mean, there's a reason you can have cupcakes every day, right? I mean, every month there would be a celebration that you can do.
Yes. Tomorrow is National Dessert Day, by the way. Yeah, there's a national day for everything these days.
Do you ramp up? Is there a lot Valentine's stuff?
Valentine's Day is the busiest day for any bakery anywhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It beats Christmas, it beats Thanksgiving, all of those.
Isn't that so? I had no idea.
Yeah.
What do you normally make for Valentine's Day? When I think of it, it's just smarty conversation hearts.
So you're thinking for the kids?
I'm thinking for my wife. That's all she eats for this. But maybe she needs to,
Does she
become
like
a little more cultured. No, she doesn't.
Okay,
maybe that could be it.
Maybe
But
that's why.
So black velvet stuff, or what are you making for Valentine's?
I haven't done black velvet. That's a good idea. A lot of red velvet, I would say. People love red velvet.
Okay.
We do cruffles, which is something that I guess I kind of partially made up with the help of other inspiration. But cruffles are kind of like, I call them cake pops that have been elevated. We use all real chocolate. We use our cake. We do like a little ganache like a chocolate ball in the middle. We do the cake, and then we dip it in some really good quality chocolate, and it's kind of like a box of chocolate, but like elevated to like, you know, have a little bit of cake in there. So those are really popular. We do heart-shaped cakes, and of course we do a different variety of, we do like a mini box of cupcakes that have different flavors in it, like red velvet, raspberry filled vanilla, death by chocolate, those kind of flavors, and those seem to really do really well.
What would be like a hard no besides pine? Besides pine,
I don't really know.
What are you like? We should really reconsider what you're thinking here, or if something like won't set right, maybe something like that.
Well, I will say that I have learned over the years that I need to stay in my own lane. So if there's something that I know that I'm just not good at, I just say, hey, that's not my niche or niche. I don't know. How do you pronounce that?
Either one.
It's not my, you know, expertise.
Yeah.
So, and I recommend them to another place. Like, I don't do sugar-free. I don't do keto. Sorry. And so I always recommend them to, I think Tea's Cafe does keto, things like that. Or, you know, I try to send them where I can. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot of people who do like custom cakes, but there's certain things I won't do because I'm just not good at it, and I want to be the best at what I present to people. So yeah, I have said no to things, and a lot of the times we can always work around it and figure out something else. I also don't do like heavily sculptured cakes. I'm not like the cake boss. I'm not like, you know, Ace of Cakes. I don't do any of that kind of stuff either. I try to keep it more, you know, simple. I want the cakes to be delicious and pretty, but they're not going to be a 3-towered, you know, like looking like a building or anything like that.
Well, I was just going to ask you, have you ever or thought to apply for any of these Food Network baking shows?
I've thought of it. People have asked me to, like, oh, you should look into this. And I even did like a little competition online where I just had people vote. Like, I told all my followers, vote for me for this. And yeah. It's just difficult to ask people to do that every single day. But yeah, I've thought of it. I don't know how well I would do under pressure, but maybe one day. We'll see.
What are some other ways that folks can utilize your services? You have gift certificates. Is it just call and say, well, we're getting ready to have a big party. We need you. What are some other ways that you kind of do the outreach or whatever in the community?
That's a great question. I feel up until this point, it's all been word of mouth, and I haven't really sat down and really done a lot of, you know, outreach apart from that. I think a lot of it comes from, again, you know, donating and people finding our name that way. Yeah. Posting on Facebook and people finding us that way. We don't currently have gift certificates, although that's something people have asked me about, so that's something I'm looking into. Right now, it's all been organic, and it's really shocking that we've been okay with just organic, you know, word of mouth. But I would like to actually expand and maybe get, you know, find some other ways to get people in the doors. So
you mentioned maybe, hopefully, eventually weekends. But what's year 2 and beyond look like for you? What are your goals here for the next year and plus?
Oh, goodness. To stick around would be the number one goal. Yeah, definitely opening up on Saturdays. We did briefly do it when we first opened, and we were just getting our name out. So I think that wasn't, you know, it didn't work out for us the first year. But, you know, now that so many more people know about us, that's something that I'm looking, you know, into. Currently, because I am a full-time mom. It is a bit difficult to be open on the weekends, but hopefully with the right help, that's something that we can expand to. And I finally have official employees to actually be able to move me to the next step.
How much of what do you do with your employees is kind of training them in your ways versus either letting them kind of explore their own journey, or just making sure that, you know, you are able to take a day off if you need to?
Yeah, right now we're still in that kind of partially training. You know, my head baker, she's got the cupcakes down, where I don't need to worry about her with that anymore. But it's a mixture of, hey, find what works for you. Let me show you what I do. And as long as you come with the same results, if you find a better way that works for you, you can do it your way. So we're still in that kind of, I've gone to my kids' field trips and things like that. So I'm able to leave a little bit more, and feel comfortable enough to let them be able to handle the opening and things like that. So we're getting there.
How is a cupcake different than a regular cake?
Well, my cupcakes specifically are two different recipes. So I have a cake recipe and I have a cupcake recipe. Some people will use their cupcake and cake recipe as the same, and they'll just, bake it in different pans. For me, a good cupcake is a nice, soft, moist cupcake, and they're not always the sturdiest, whereas my cake, I want it to be a little bit more sturdy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my cakes and my cupcakes are different. Like my cupcakes have sour cream in them. My cakes do not. They just have a lot of butter and a lot of, milk, and depending on the recipe and things like that. So, yeah, I would definitely say that they are very different.
What makes adding butter, sour cream, kind of those fatty parts of the what makes that taste so good? What is it?
Pretty much what you just said. I mean, it's the fat that goes into it. It's the flavor. It's a tenderizer. So, sour cream. Butter is not a tenderizer. Butter is actually the opposite of that. But sour cream adds that tenderness to it that you would get from the same way you'd get from a buttermilk or something like that. It adds, like you were saying, a black velvet cake. So black velvet cake would have buttermilk, and that's what makes it so tender and really soft. And so that's necessary for a nice soft cupcake.
So people can come in here Tuesday through, what'd you say?
Friday.
Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 5. Pick up stuff to go home and be ready for the next day. Is there scones or like a breakfast kind of thing, right?
Yes.
You can get some of those for the next morning. How often do people come in and they go, well, I just need one or two, and they end up ordering a whole bunch more and eating half of them before they leave the door?
We've had that happen with scones, but also other things where people will grab one. It's their first time in ever, and or it's their first time trying something new, and they'll go and grab one. They'll go to their car, they'll try it, and they'll come back. Okay, I need 2 more. I need 3 more. I need 4 more. That happens a lot. We've also converted some people into scone believers, I'll say, where we've had some longtime customers that I'm like, oh, have you tried our scones? And they're like, oh, no. And I'll just cut a piece off. I'm like, here, try it. Let me know if you like it for next time. And then we've had people coming in for scones ever since. So, we've had people with that for cinnamon rolls. We've had people for cupcakes. So I've never buttercream before. So yeah, we've had some people be converted.
A lot of folks here would be familiar with the fair scones. Do you put anything in your scones, or is it just the dough? You cook the dough? I mean, do you have jam, I guess, or whatever?
We don't do jam, although I am thinking about doing that one day maybe. But we normally we mix in some type of fruit normally. So we'll normally do a raspberry scone or a strawberry scone. This past week we did a cinnamon apple scone with a maple glaze. So our scone flavors rotate every week.
How does it feel when you're scrolling through old social media, maybe on that classic Shelton Talks, and you see someone gushing about what you've created for them? Oh,
it's amazing. I love seeing it. It's so nice. Or even when people are like, oh, recommend a place, and they always you'll see 5 people recommending, the Cupcakes Queen. It's so, it kind of humbles me in a way, because it's nobody sees all the trials that I had to go through, all the errors that I had to go to get to this point where people are actually you're the best bakery, blah, 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 saying all that stuff. So it's always so nice to see.
You ever been somewhere at a dinner party or something and people are talking without knowing who you are, and they say, oh my God, you have got to go. You've got to go to the Cupcakes Queen. And you say,
I don't think I've ever had it where people didn't know I was there, and they I had other people tell people, in my presence that, oh, you have to try this, you have to go there. So I don't know what people are saying behind my back, but I think people are saying good things. I actually went all the way to the zoo in Seattle, and somebody recognized me from there, like, oh, are you the Cupcakes Queen? I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've had that happen quite a few. I've gone places, Costco, I've gone places and people have recognized me from that. So that's kind of crazy. I feel like a local celebrity.
Sure. Would you ever do a class, teach people how to do this?
So I've been talking to Nicole from Graffiti.
Oh,
we're
okay.
trying to figure something out. We need to actually get back in contact about that.
Yes. That'd be a great space to do something.
I've actually done a class. I did a free class at the library. We did some little cupcakes, Minecraft cupcakes, a while back. So that was fun too. But yeah, it'd be nice to do some more things like that for sure.
Well, 2 years is a huge anniversary for a small business, and is pretty darn cool. And again, this is the place where lots of folks have been utilizing your services to bring smile and joy and raise funds for their organizations. I think your stuff went for, I don't remember. I was doing the auction, but I said, the Cupcakes Queen, and people were just put up their bid markers and raised a lot of money for that organization and all the other ones that I've been around. So that's pretty darn cool. Again, we're on Olympic Hwy N North, right across the parking lot from the licensing office and the Shang restaurant. You're online, thecuppiecakesqueen.com. I'll put that link in the show notes as well. Social media too, so people can see the photos, call you up, make orders and things like that. And then I'm going to come back and let's make something. Yes. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes,
and you can show me how to do a frosting or something like that.
Oh, yes. Oh, we can get you on cupcake duty.
That would work. Well, let me ask you this. So is it easier to do and I don't even know if this is sacrilege or not, but you do individual cupcake design, or you just lay all the cupcakes out and then you just put a big swath of frosting over all of them and then they're all done? So you said... And I don't know if this is right, but you said Home Depot. So my first thought is it was a big square, all orange, and it said Home Depot somehow in the lettering. What do you like on that?
Not quite. I think you're thinking of pull-apart cakes, which is cupcakes when they just slather. So you're not crazy to think this way, because a lot of people do cupcake cakes. They put them all together. They slather on buttercream. Yeah. I don't really know what's holding it up in between the different cupcakes, though.
No, there's a space in between.
There's spaces in between, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't do that. Individual.
I did. I actually did a recent cake. It was a number 2, and it was baby shark themed. So I did do the slathering, but it was very difficult. So I know. I just ice one by one normally. That's how I prefer. The Home Depot, we just put little edible images on top of the cupcakes.
One of my first jobs was at Baskin Robbins, so I do have I can cursive a happy birthday.
All right, you're not looking for a job, are you? We need some decorators back there.
Well, I'm always down to help and have a good time and try something, but I just want to throw that out there. And obviously, I have great ideas for flavors.
Yeah, I love the pine. I'm considering it.
We'll get there one of these days. Maybe you make a flannel patchwork, red and black.
Yeah.
With a pine. Maybe you just put a little sprig of a tree on there, and that's good enough. Oh my gosh. All right. Cuppiecakesqueen.com. We'll get the links in the show notes. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And make sure you come by here. What are the plans for this will air on the radio before Friday. So what are the plans for Friday?
Friday, we're going to be opening up at 12 that day. We're going to be here 12 to 6 celebrating. We're going to have all of your favorite things. We're going to have the Dubai brownies.
Perfect.
We're going to have cake jars. We're going to have a bunch of different flavors of cupcakes and brownies. And we're going to do it a little bit a smaller size so people can grab more than one thing if they want to. And of course, we're going to have, decorations up, celebrating the 2-year. We'll be giving out raffle tickets to anybody who comes and purchase. And then you're also welcome to purchase more if you want to win some raffles. We're going to be giving away our signature cake, some cupcakes, things like that. 2523 Olympic Hwy N North is the official address here. 360-490-0074. Callie, it was good to talk with you. You as well. And I look forward to coming back and doing another video feature where we make something. Yes, I can't wait to have you make some cupcakes with us. All right.